They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's SeaTow. SeaTow's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. SeaTow gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at SeaTow.com or call 850-234-2323.
ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest members of the Panama City Beach Chamber to our vibrant business community.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. 360 Painting of Panama City, Arco Services, Clubs Real Estate Group, Cody Mori, the Dock PCB.
We're here to support your success and help you connect with our community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Serving overseas was just the beginning. We might be home from war, but our mission continues in communities all across the country. It's why we're out there in times of peace and crisis, providing meals to the hungry and supplies to the sick. It's why we're giving strength to those who are too weak and bringing resources to those without them. Service doesn't stop when we're done serving. It's what makes us the VFW. Learn more at vfw.org. No man, no woman, no one left behind. For the VFW, it's a credo that stands long after our fighting days are over, because our service never stops. We're still serving, which is why we pledge to help our own, no matter where they are or when they need us. Standing in lockstep with those who stood so courageously for everyone else. It's what makes us the VFW. Learn more at vfw.org.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
the Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Friday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Father's Day coming up this Sunday. Still some time to get some last-minute gifts out there. We got
starting like Gucky this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And just make sure it's always the U.S. Open, so a lot of golf revolves around my Father's Day. That's for sure. But I think we got Aaron Bearden coming up at 12:20. Maybe they got some Father's Day specials going on. If they do, if they don't, it's one of those places. Visit our sponsors and take care of Dad. That is for sure. But you're listening live and local on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, and down there along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can watch, listen, like, comment, share, all those wonderful things on our socials, Facebook, X, YouTube. Just search up ESPN Northwest Florida. Download the free mobile app. Where, Jay? Crickets.
Oh, man.
I know. You didn't know it was coming. But, Jay's finishing up his junior camp. I know they do their pizza party and awards on their final day of the camp, so he's finishing up. I'm trying to convince him to come in for the last segment so we can at least do our pick'em. I totally forgot yesterday. But you can download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. Just search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also follow us on TikTok, inside.drive. And last but not least, you can go to ESPNPC.com pcbhobby.com, and you can check out all the great stuff there, including voting for the ugliest Coastal Carolina shirt ever. Yeah, I hear you, Kyle. I hear you. Hey, I got to support, I feel like I was going to mention this since you said it. I feel like Florida State, unless you're a Gator fan or a Miami fan, but does that even matter at this point?
No, I'll answer that one.
Yeah, there you go. Florida State's like one of those teams that, like, again, unless you're a Gator fan, you can kind of root for a little bit because they seem not so, like, softer, and you know what I mean. Ooh. Like the friendly university.
Yeah, there you go.
Soft probably wasn't the right word.
Friendly State University.
Yeah, Friendly State University. There you go. So had to rock the College World Series getting started tonight. So we were at the Super Regional last weekend. Figured it was only right to wear the shirt today.
I think it's because Florida and Miami fans even Florida State fans 2 years ago were still stuck in the past. Alabama fans in about 2 years are going to be stuck in the past again, So I think that has a part to play in it. And then also, at least for me, I still feel bad for Florida State fans for what happened by the College Football Playoff Committee.
Absolutely. And, it's the closest university here. We moved down here in 2015. My wife's a big Auburn girl. I obviously went to Coastal Carolina, but Florida State kind of seemed to be one of our adopted teams. We know the golf coaches real well. We've done a lot of things with Florida State over there. Seminole Legacy, Matt O'Brien, the head golf professional out there, director of golf out there, is a good friend. And just, it's just right down there. Kyle's one of those guys that when he types something aggressive, he always puts LOL or haha after it to try to ease it up a little
bit.
Or
JK, always.
Or JK.
He's like, let me hit you in the ribs. Oh, that didn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. But anyway, hey, Florida, toughest schedule in college football coming up this year. Will Billy Napier still be the coach next season or the following season? Who knows?
Hey, we'll see week one what it's going to look like, at least between Florida and Miami. So excited about that game right there. I mean, if Florida loses that game convincingly, Miami wins convincingly, and then Florida goes they host Stanford and they don't look good there, I mean, you could see Napier out really early.
Do you think Florida has to win that Miami game?
I mean, to get bowl eligible, yeah.
Well, yeah, but for Napier,
and that's kind of my thing though, is that the Gators have to make a bowl game this year or else Napier's out, and you have to win 6 of the first 7 games in my opinion.
Yeah, because then it gets into the hardest stretch in college football history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're going to, more than likely, the way that Florida can play ball, and if Graham Mertz is as good as what he was last year and the defense takes a big step up, they can win some of those games that they're going to be looked at as having no chance in, because you just don't know until they put the product on the field.
Well, and these are arguably going to be the hardest schedules. Basically, almost every SEC or ACC team, Big Ten team, is played because of the expansion and how everything's changed up quite a bit. So it'll be a lot more interesting when we get a little bit closer, but it's really not that far away. It seems like it's so far when the season ends in January, but then here we are almost halfway. No, we're the 14th. Yeah, we're almost halfway through, Gene. One more day and we're halfway there, and we'll be getting closer to it. But when you head over to ESPNPC.com, you can click that Best of Bay voting right there at the top of the page. That's going to take you to an opportunity to vote lots of our ESPN Northwest Florida shows. In the DJ event wedding category, you got the Coach James Sale Show hanging out in there. Sam Peoples from the Braves Dugout Podcast found his way into the planning event wedding category. That would be a wild, and I bet everybody else in that category that legitimately does it as a business would be pretty disappointed. But that's why you got to get out there and vote. And then, of course, in the radio personality show, you got David Hayes, the Afternoon Underdogs, James Hale with the Coach James Hale Show, me, Jay, here on the Inside Drive, and then, of course, Sam Peoples with the Braves Dugout Podcast. And then last but not least, all 4 of us are also in the TV personality. You can vote once a day per email address between now and January 24th. It's cool, too. What happens is once you do vote for once you vote, the email you have gets emailed to you. You just got to click login. It takes you right back there. Boom. All you got to do is click vote. You don't have to sign in every time. They certainly do make it easier for you, no doubt about that. But
I've been putting my email in every single time.
Now you know.
There you go. That'll make it a little easier.
Yes.
I'm going to try to go through and vote for the businesses that support us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you vote 25 times, you get entered to win a $250 gift card. But yeah, if you just check your email, they're going to send you one. You just click login and boom, you're right there again.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that email. I just didn't pay attention to it. I jaded.
No, I've been doing this Best of Bay thing for a long time with Bay Point, and I didn't realize that off the jump. And it took me a few years before I just thought it was like, oh, they want you to go through that. So I'd always just go back to the website and have to sign in again. But then I think it was 2 years ago I realized that. So it took me 5 to figure it out.
There you go.
So you're already ahead of the game.
Golf Plus. Go vote for Golf
Absolutely.
Plus. Go vote for 850 Bakes is another one.
Nice.
That's where I
850
stay Chris
Bakes. That is in the dining category, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you'd have to figure it out. It's like dining, and then I think baking
Bakery.
is bakery.
Got my vote in right now.
Boom.
As we see, that's how easy it is to do.
That's how easy it is to do it.
I will say it is a lot easier to do it on a computer than your phone, no doubt about that.
There's no question about that.
No doubt.
Which is wild because you would think that more people would be seeing it on their phones on social media.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Carry a laptop with you everywhere you go.
You might as well. Jay does. He just doesn't do anything with it. But I think he does carry it wherever he goes. Oh, man. Florida Panthers last night. I was hopeful Edmonton would make something happen, but it just wasn't the case. They got up. I mean, I think Florida scored 1-0 at the very. They've scored, I don't know how many goals in the last 2 minutes of periods. It's ridiculous.
They just beat you down, and then you feel like, all right, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, and you let up a little bit, and boom, all of a sudden they score a goal. Edmonton did try to make it interesting late in the game, but it pretty much felt like
39 seconds left.
The Panthers had that thing kind of wrapped up as soon as they got to that 4-1 lead, which was just pretty wild. A couple bang, bang, bang goals. But it's not looking good. I mean, if you're a sports fan, 2 sweeps in your finals, just it's kind of meh.
It is meh. I don't even know if I'm going to watch Game 4 of the NBA Finals. I watched a few minutes of Game 3, and then I watched the tail end of it because it looked like Dallas was going to start making that run. And then same way last night, once it went to 4-1, I was like, all right, the game was on the TV, but I was barely paying attention. And then you see, 2-3 minutes left. All right, it's starting to get interesting, but there was no shot.
Just crazy stuff. And, there's kind of a parallel, right, a little bit with, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, all these guys on the Oilers. And then you got, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. You got a similar side where Florida's more of a complete team, Boston's more of a complete team, and they just kind of shut you down and suffocate. So there's some very close similarities between these 2 finals. But this would be the first time since 1995, which is almost 30 years ago, that you've had a sweep in both the NBA and the NHL at the same time.
Do you think we get the double sweep?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do. Just watching too much. But this will be the first NHL's title sweep since 1998. Oh, wow. That's what's even crazier. I don't know. You hope, and if it's your team, I'm sure you love a sweep because you want to win the cup or the NBA title, whatever it may be. But as sports fans, you want to see some more parity when you get to the finals.
And I would say that Florida's is a little bit more impressive there, just because of the route taken to get to the Stanley Cup final. And then we also got to go back and look at kind of the totality of the season, whereas in their own division, they weren't even running things.
Yeah.
They weren't even running things until like the last month and a half there of the season because it was Boston's show.
Yep.
And then here comes Florida, and then they've just been dominant throughout the playoffs. And here you go, going up against one of the best, if not the best offense in all of the NHL, and they're shutting them down.
Yeah, and they were there last year. And they were playing with house money, as we said last year. They, were they supposed to be there? Not really. But they ran. They made a huge comeback against Boston, got all the way to the finals, got close, but just couldn't get it done. And here they are, right back there with one more game in Edmonton to win the cup. Would you like to see Edmonton maybe steal one so Florida can go back home and win it? Yeah, if you're a Florida fan, absolutely. I think the same thing on the side of Boston. But then at the same time, if you're the team, you want to get it done to get it done. You don't want to let somebody hang around and make that stuff happen. But
especially a team like Edmonton, because if they do get that one little taste, then you could see them, turning a corner, if you will. I don't think Dallas has that same capability. And obviously, Luka's not necessarily at 100%. That we saw in Game 3, the defense, the lack of defensive intensity that he brings at the table, or that he can bring to the table sometimes.
Yeah, that's what he's been criticized the most at as well.
But he says he's going to come out and have fun, so we'll see. Does that help them take the game to another level?
Maybe just a little too much fun, a little too late.
There you go.
That's for sure.
You're going to have a ton of fun and maybe try to put up one of the highest scoring games in NBA Finals history.
There you go.
Have your name in the record books, just not the records you want to have.
Yeah, I take titles over anything, that's for sure. I will say, who do you think, David, if Edmonton goes on to lose Game 4, who do you think is the Conn Smythe Trophy winner there?
Can you just give it to all the blue liners?
Yeah.
The blue liners and Bob. I mean, I think Bobrovsky ends up getting it.
Yeah, I would think so, too. That's kind of where I'm leaning to right now. But, yeah, I mean, definitely.
But, the guys in front of Bob's is huge as well. I don't think that it really goes to an offensive player in this one.
Yeah, I mean, if Edmonton would have won the series, I think McDavid probably gets it. But if he contributed in the finals,
Because right now
they've only scored 4 goals in 3 games total for the team. So
it's funny because going into this series, we talked about, like how do you slow down McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard and Nugent Hopkins, because you're not going to stop them. So how do you slow them down? It looks like they've stopped them.
Great goaltending.
Yeah. Well, and
great, and last night I think they had 35 shots and, Bob's let in 3, but still out of 35 shots, that's still a great save percentage of goals against average. So he's had to really come up big in Game 1 and Game 3. Game 2, not as quite much. I think the Florida defense and their smothering forecheck kind of helped them win that one. So, but hey, you never absolutely know. It's been done in Stanley Cup Finals history. I think, 4 times a team has come back from 3-0 deficit. One of the few sports where a 3-0 deficit in the championship series has actually came back and come to fruition. Here's a wild one for you this morning, David. I was shocked when I read this earlier, and I just don't get it. Trevor Lawrence, starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just brought in Mac Jones in the offseason. They have agreed to a 5-year, $275 million extension with the team on Thursday. This was according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. The deal includes $200 million guaranteed. That's $55 million a year. Little surprising. His record is 20-30. He's got an 85 passer rating.
The record, there's inflation there due to Urban Meyer.
So
or
they get
deflation, right?
Gotcha. So a lot of those losses, they just credit straight. Yeah, I get it. And that was his rookie year, right?
Exactly.
Which is a tough year to have to, rookie years are just
like
tough in general. They were not good. Yep.
And you're looking at 20-16, 18-16 if you take away.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they couldn't have been 2-16. That's not even a legitimate.
2-14.
2-14. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But, again, he was 20-30. Yes, Urban Meyer and his craziness that first year. But is Lawrence worth 5 years, $275 million? How much were Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa and Dak Prescott get because of this? I don't know. Why does it have to be that the next guy gets paid a bigger contract, now the other guy's got to get paid a contract? It's just the way the agents work, or what's the deal? And then obviously,
that's a players' association, and you can't blame them. Like, let's say, all right, let's say that there's a union of general managers at golf courses, and the only way for you guys to get raises you know what I mean? Like each time that you guys go in front of the board or whatever, I don't know how you get raises as a general manager, but they take you in front of the board and then you get a raise and then the next guy gets a raise. So if you played nice guy one year and you go up to the owner and is like, hey, this year you don't got to worry about the raise. Let's make more money for the golf course. Now the other guys are going to be mad at you because you're affecting the money. So a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who is the franchise quarterback,
no doubt,
you're paying these guys to get you to the postseason. He failed in that 2 of the 3 years, but 2 years ago looked really good. Last year was, and I think this is going to be another tough year for him. But to answer the question of Dak's going to get a huge payday, whether it be from the Cowboys or anyone,
or somebody else.
He's a good quarterback. He's more than.
And you said something very specific there too.
Yeah.
You said these guys get paid to get to the playoffs.
Yeah. We expect them as fans.
Yeah.
It's about your postseason wins. But as teams, they're paying them to get to the postseason. So, yes, Dak's getting the bag. Tua, I'm still undecided on Tua, but I think that with what he's shown for the Dolphins in a season and a half over the course of the last 2 seasons, I think that Tua is going to end up getting paid. And then who was the other one that you brought up?
Jordan Love.
Yep. How can they not? I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to be in a situation where maybe they can get a team-friendly deal out of Jordan Love just because they haven't won as much, and last year kind of felt like a surprise. But if he builds upon that this year, then yeah, he's getting paid.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, next year it'll be interesting to see what Brock does with his contract. He'll be up for his first extension post his rookie deal. So it's just wild. It's just, the receiver, it just keeps pushing. But I guess the NFL is just making more and more money every year. So these guys are just getting paid ridiculous amounts of money. And quarterback position's a little bit different. There's only one on the field. Everything's on you. All the pressure. You've got to be the leader. You've got to be the one that takes the fall when things go wrong. And it's just, maybe that's just where they're worth right now. That's for sure. We got a caller on the line? Okay, perfect. We'll get him in. We got Alan. He's going to join us here in the next segment. He'd probably chime in on the.
That's what I figured too. I was like, perfect.
The Trevor Lawrence $275 million deal. But Jacksonville's done a lot this offseason as well to kind of bolster up their defense. Added a few more players on offense. So in a division that is definitely a lot tougher now with the Colts and the Houston Texans on the rise for sure. So I mean, they went from being at what everybody I think last year thought they were going to win that division, and then the AFC South is gotten a lot better in the last 2 years.
And I don't believe at all what I'm about to say. But the Titans could be like not the Texans level.
No.
But what I mean by that is don't expect them to come out and, make this strong AFC South run. But they could be a team that surprises you because it's a totally different regime over there. Brian Callahan's a little pass happy. But it boils down to, is the offensive line going to be able to protect Will Levis? And is Will Levis as good as what some of the Titans front office and Rand Carthon and Brian Callahan believe? I don't think so. But that's neither here nor there because he's going to have to prove it on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, maybe they're not the barn burner team that they were a couple of years ago, but they're not going to be the pushover team that they may have been, quote unquote, the last year or so.
Yeah, maybe so. I would go Texans, Jaguars, Colts, Titans.
Okay, I like that. That's fair. And it's coming up here pretty soon. Before we take this break and jump on with Alan live from the U.S. Open, a little quick quote from Tyrell Hatton yesterday, known from being a hothead on the LIV Tour and just golf in general. But he was asked a question yesterday by a reporter, do you prefer this kind of U.S. Open grind as opposed to Valhalla, which was where the PGA Championship was and the scoring was fantastic? Hatton said, with it being harder, a lot of guys sort of losing their head. It sort of brings them to my level because I just lose my head every week. They can experience what it's like to be in my head for a week. And he's having a pretty decent golf tournament so far. But when we get back from this break, we'll be joined by Alan Sandage at his first ever golf tournament. Just happens to be at the U.S. Open at the home of golf now, and that's Pinehurst Village up there in North Carolina. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 93 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 78. About the same tomorrow, around 92 with sunshine and a wind out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour. Partly sunny in the morning and then possible thunderstorms Sunday and hot around 90. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards.
Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves' 5-game win streak comes to an end, as does the Orioles' 6-game winning streak on Thursday.
Tickets for the Braves 2024 season are going fast. This season is jam-packed with great matchups. Get your tickets at Braves.com/tickets.
Thursday afternoon at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, the Braves bounce back and salvage the finale with the Orioles by a final score of 6-3. The Atlanta offense got off to a quick start with 2 runs in the first on a 2-run double from Marcell Ozuna, his 56th and 57th RBI of the year. Then in the top of the 4th, tacked on another on an RBI base hit from Ozzie Albies. Meanwhile, Reynaldo Lopez was terrific once again on the mound for the visitors, tossing 6 scoreless innings with 2 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts, earning the win to improve to 4-2 on the season. Orioles would make things interesting with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 7th, but the Braves broke away with 2 runs in the top of the 9th as a run scored on a wild pitch and another crossed on an RBI double from Matt Olson. With the win, Braves are now 36-30 on the season and will head home and get ready for a 6-game homestand starting tonight. And as always, hear the call of the Braves live from Truist Park right here on the Braves Radio Network. First pitch is set for 7:20 p.m. Eastern. I'm Kevin McAlpin, and this has been your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Have a quick stretch first.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
Must have pulled something playing hoops last week.
And Jay Henley.
I know you're not putting that rock up from here. You ain't got no Jay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Our good friend of the show and sports director up there at ESPN Richmond happens to be live on location at the U.S. Open Championship up there in the village of Pinehurst, North Carolina, the now USGA home of golf. 100-plus years of history in that place. Just the people that have went through that facility, unbelievable facility. You got 10 golf courses, I believe 6 there on property in the main clubhouse area. Just the mecca of golf. Alan has never been to a golf tournament before, so he's pretty much shot to the stars. It might almost the same as going to the Masters for your first time. Alan, how's it going up there in Pinehurst?
I feel like Forrest Gump when he just wandered into that press conference and he was just looking around. Like, I don't belong here, but I'm here.
There you go. There you go. And obviously, a huge complex there, U.S. Open, very different than many typical U.S. Opens. But, what was kind of some of your thoughts as you got on property there? You're not a golfer yourself. You do love golf when you're winning bets, of course. I know that. But, just talk everybody about, what's it like being up there? And I know it's also very hot, but this is a very different style golf course than most U.S. Opens are known for. They're known for thick roughs, tight fairways, obviously fast greens, but Pinehurst is a little bit different than that.
Yeah, this is a but wait, there's more type course. You know what I mean by
I like
that?
It.
It's like, every time you think it's done, it's like, actually, no. I have a picture from day one. Like I said, I was following Denny McCarthy around. He's our UVA guy, and he had a lie that was. And it was in like the sand, but it was fine. It was like along the cart path or whatever, but it looked fine. And literally 6 inches away from him was the lie of his one of his group mates, and that was in the one patch of thick grass that you could possibly hit. There's no other grass anywhere else, but there's that one spot of grass, and that's where his ball lied. Like, that was my takeaway from the first day. Honestly, you could be perfect here, and you're still going to have some adversity on this course.
Yeah, and that's what, makes, then that's everything you want out of a U.S. Open, and I'm glad to see, you've got a couple actually pretty spectacular rounds on the golf course right now. I know Thomas Dietrich, the German, kind of coming out of nowhere. He's 4 under par in his round today, now tied for the lead. But you've been following, I know, a good bit of the Xander, Scheffler, and Rory group. Talk a little bit about, Scotty Scheffler, we've been talking about him at length here on the show, how much of a dominant season he's had so far, and can he keep it going? And it just seems like maybe something's a little off with his game and what's going on. And, he's got a lot of changes in his life. He's a new dad. But like you said, the baby part, it's not as complicated until they start talking back to you.
Yeah, if the baby's stationary, I think you got it made for right now. My experience with kids, I miss my baby. My 6-year-old, they can have him.
There you go.
But like I said, Scotty just seemed a little off. I think, some of it, he's so good, man. He hasn't, even the adversity that he's faced, he's always been able to overcome it. And, this is a big tournament. You can tell he really wants to win. And some of it, he's just overdoing it a little bit. Again, you could be perfect here and get penalized. And I'll be honest, there have been a couple of these wins that he's had where he's gotten fair bounces and things that went his way despite a bad shot. And here, like I said, you're just not getting those kind of bounces or lies. So, 2 holes ago, I think all 3 of them were in the same spot, and he smacked it over top and missed a gimme putt, and everybody else is kind of like fighting through it, and he's just unwilling today. So he'll be fine. He'll learn from it. He can't be perfect because he's human.
Because it's an imperfect game, no doubt about it. You've been following that Scheffler, Rory, Xander group a little bit, and Xander got off to a tough start. He bogeyed his first 2 holes, but then made 5 birdies in his next 10-ish holes. And then guess what? Pinehurst U.S. Open Golf can sneak up to you in a matter of seconds on what was the easiest hole to par yesterday. He makes a double bogey on the par 5 fifth, and all of a sudden now he's just drops back to -1. So, that's part of what happens here at the U.S. Open is, you're a one mistake away from making a double bogey at any moment on that golf course. I've talked a lot this week about the green complexes and how there's buried elephants in them. You hear you got to land it on the top of a Volkswagen Beetle, turtlebacks. When you saw the greens in person, I know you don't have a lot of experience at other golf courses and seeing other golf courses, but was it just like, you look at it and say, how do these guys putt on these things? How do they chip on them? How do they get the ball close?
Yeah, I've never actually played. I've played 2K. I've been around golfers. I've talked to you guys, and I've watched plenty of golf to know that this is not normal and this is challenging. And I had a picture. I was on one side of the green looking over top of the green or across the green, and the mound was so high that the gentleman I was standing next to, who I know is all but 6'5", looked like a midget. Like you could barely see his head, and the mound was just rising up. And I was like, and I have a clip of it where Denny McCarthy made a shot and he put it right on the mound. And then there was another guy who hit a shot and he was maybe like 6 inches away from Denny, and the ball rolled back almost 30 yards. Like it's just very, very challenging. And I think they do that intentionally because the real testament of a golfer's ability is how he handles adversity more so than when things are easy. Yep. And you can see by the leaderboard, there's just some guys here, they're just mentally tough. They're just mentally made for this. You can look at the scorecards and tell. Like, look at Xander. He started off terrible. He bounced back. If he can get in with 1 under, that's a great win for him today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the afternoon wave is. The weather, you're up there. I know you just got the heat advisory notice. It doesn't look like there's any rain in the forecast. I was watching this morning when they were interviewing the superintendent, and they're basically saying, a lot of times when you have a U.S. Open, you're following the USGA's guidelines of what they want to do. You can start to see those greens turn in a little bit. And, the USGA wants these guys to struggle. I think the golf course is playing as easy as it's going to play at the moment you speak about it, and it's only going to get more difficult. And this afternoon wave, I think, is going to be a little bit more challenging than the morning wave. I know you're a big gambling guy. You're a big sports guy. If you were to say one guy right now where we are, who would you like to make a run at finishing this thing up on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm still staying with Rory, which is weird because I'm so anti-Rory. But I like what I see out of him so far. Just his ability to stay creative and to take the necessary risk where other guys have been kind of timid to do it. And it's paying off. Like, I like the aggressive Rory. Yep. And he's hitting putts. He's avoiding the bogeys. Like, even I think today he might have had like 1 or 2 bogeys, but like it still hasn't really affected him. He's only dropped 1 shot today, and and there are guys on the card from this morning that are dropping like 2 to 3 shots, you know?
Yep.
So if we could just stay steady, because I don't think Cantlay's gonna stay 5.
I would be shocked if Cantlay shot even par or better today. I would just be shocked.
It's going to be difficult. And that heat advisory is about 2 hours too late. My phone overheated when I was out trying to like send you guys shots of like them walking on the 18 and stuff. I went 18, 1, and to hole number 2. And by the time they teed off from hole number 2, I looked down at my phone, and my phone had overheated. So I came back inside for a little bit.
Well, and one of the things about being in the sand hills of North Carolina, it is hot. There's not a ton of wind, and it's just, that sand just radiates up off the ground there. But, talk a little bit about the crowds up there at Pinehurst number 2. I think they're expecting, about 50,000 people each day. That's a lot of people. But the golf course is it's not the easiest walking course. There's no doubt about it. It's very spread out, and to get to the far parts of the golf course, you got to walk a long way. But talk about the gallery and the energy that's up there, given it's so hot.
Yeah, so they've done a great job of making sure that there's plenty of stations for you to stay hydrated. There's also plenty of concession areas, and they've got plenty of like viewing areas too, kind of like almost like a big picnic, where they've got all these big TVs and projections out there that people can sit in lawn chairs. They provide some chairs in some sections.
Wow.
You can bring your own. They put them in shaded areas. Like, they've been very accommodating, given the heat and everything. So when I've been around the people, everybody seems comfortable. Everybody seems to be having a good time. And everybody seems really excited about whoever their guy is, man. And doesn't have to be Rory or Scotty. It could be anybody hitting a shot. I mean, yesterday, I think the loudest cheer came from one of the amateur guys, and he was just shooting even. But it's just people are excited to see the golfers take on the court.
There you go. I mean, that's one of the beauties of the U.S. Open, and I know said Tiger Woods is getting ready to tee off in about 35, 40 minutes-ish. I think 1:14.
We'll see if he starts on time. I got a feeling he won't.
Well, he needs to start on time. Otherwise, he gets a 2-stroke penalty. If he's not there within 5 minutes, he's disqualified. So,
well, I was going to say yesterday, I feel like, like I said, I followed Denny McCarthy. He was supposed to tee off at 1:14 or something like that, and I swear he didn't take a swing until almost 1:30. But I could be wrong. It was a long day.
Well, and if they're teeing off on the back nine, especially number 10, the par 5, if people are going for it in 2, they got to wait a little bit longer. So yeah, you have to tee off by a certain time. But if the group in front of you doesn't allow that to happen, that's a different situation. But I think Tiger's group is going off number 1 today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are. I already got multiple text requests and commands to be there.
And commands, I like that.
Yeah. Even my father, who doesn't even watch golf, is telling me I better not miss, a picture with Tiger Woods. I'm like, I don't know who you think I am, man. I can't get close to Tiger.
I mean, the crowds are going to be big, and that's one of the things about Tiger, regardless if he's in contention or not. He's a fan favorite. He's been in the game for a long time, and to get a chance to see Tiger, because you really don't know how much more golf he's going to be playing, even though the PGA Tour is contemplating a lifetime exemption for Tiger Woods into these signature events, which I think is kind of crazy, but that's neither here nor there. U.S. Open, you got the cut line looking like it may be. I mean, they haven't really put an official one out yet until that afternoon wave gets going, but it's top 60 and ties. Do you think, Alan, there's a round? Let's skip today. Let's go to tomorrow. Do you think there's going to be a round out there tomorrow that could be better than 3 under par, given the greens are going to get faster, the hole locations are going to get tougher?
I think somebody might hit that. I really do, just because, like, the way Bryson has been playing, I think it'll be somebody like DeChambeau, Aberg, or McIlroy, somebody that has a little length to their game. I think they can get under a little lower than 3 under. It just won't be today.
Yeah. Well, Thomas Dietrich right now, he's 4 under par for the tournament, and then your boy and my boy Hideki Matsuyama is currently 4 under par in his day, 2 under par for the tournament. So there's some good golf being played out there, that's for sure. But again, one moment away from making one bad swing, and it's gonna potentially cost you a little bit. And you saw, I know you mentioned it, but were you there when Sepp Straka had his hole-in-one today?
No, again, in pure Forrest Gump fashion, I was walking in the opposite direction. Had thought about stopping by the hole just to take pictures, but told myself I need to catch up to Rory and them.
Yeah.
And heard the roar and then got the alert, and I was like, of course, it would happen to me.
Well, and talk about, I mean, you never know it's going to happen. It doesn't happen very often. And talk about the Pinehurst and the golf gods. You know, on his third hole, he started out on one, he went par, and then hit a fantastic shot on the third hole, but it hit the flagstick and went to the bunker completely short-sided, ended up making a triple bogey. What a way to start off your round, you know, just getting that horrible bad luck. And then, of course, as we just mentioned, the very difficult ninth. That green complex is unbelievable. He knocks it in the jar for a hole-in-one and then follows it up with a birdie. So he's kind of been up and down a little bit. But Sepp Straka, the Austrian, tied for 43rd right now, having a decent U.S. Open. Alan, if we do have some people from down this neck of the woods that are up there right now, and I think some people traveling up there as well. What are some recommendations you would give them, you know, just with your brief experience so far?
Oh, honestly, just stay hydrated. Like, there's not even a joke, man. Like, the heat, because it's so dry and stuff, like, you might think you're fine because you're sweating, but it sneaks up on you, man. And I'm glad to see in the 2 days I've been here, we haven't seen anybody fall out or anything like that. Seems like everybody's taking it very serious. I would say even if you're in the shade, still stay hydrated.
Yeah, there you go. Hot out there in the Sandhills of North Carolina. All right, Alan, I'm going to pivot from sports just real quick. Any way you think the NBA Finals can not go to Boston or even not be swept with Boston?
You know, I don't know about a sweep, but it's probably a good thing I'm down here and not on air back home, because I heard some nonsense today. And, like, you know, when you're down 3-0, it's never been done. Don't tell people not to sleep on you. We should sleep on you. It's been 156 or however many other times that people have tried to overcome 3-0 and win 4-3. It just doesn't happen enough for us not to be detractors.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't even know if they can win tonight, man. But Luka Doncic, man, I've never been so disappointed in somebody that I was looking to hate on. Like, he's been an absolute brat. That's the only way to describe it. He's a brat. It's annoying. It's got to be draining to play with somebody every single play, Ryan. Every play.
Just complaining. Yep. That's not good for anything.
Justice for that.
Yeah. Focus on, and then, you know, he said that, you know, he's just going to try to go out and have fun out there tonight. And it's like, well, I think it's just a little too late for that, Luka, unfortunately. And we may have a double sweep if the House Money Cats, the Florida Panthers, can get it done tomorrow night as well. As a little disappointing effort there so far from the Edmonton Oilers. But Alan,
you know, real quick, you know what the secret is for the Panthers?
What's that?
I didn't pick them this year. I actually picked Edmonton, and look.
There you go.
I'm bad luck.
And that's the exact reason why Scotty Scheffler is not doing so well today, is because for the first time I decided to bet him. And, of course, I live bet Xander Schauffele, and then he went on to make a double on the par 5 fifth. So it's funny. And the same thing with, I bet the USA-Brazil game 2 days ago. I bet Brazil, and USA ties them 1-1. So if you need me to bet so you can have a team win, just let me know, and me and Alan will make that happen for you. Alan, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the U.S. Open. Stay hydrated, and looking forward to hearing more clips and stories from up there. Have a great time.
All right, take care.
Yeah, absolutely. Go see some Tiger Woods action teeing off of number 1. That was Alan Sandage. He's the ESPN sports director for ESPN Richmond up there in Virginia, down covering some U.S. Open action in the village of Pinehurst. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
Drew Holiday, his role is anything you need on a given night, he'll do. You need someone to go out and score you 20 points, he'll do it. You need someone to shut down your best player, he'll do it. You need someone to be a great leader, great attitude guy, great glue guy, all that stuff, he'll do it. He's a roles player. He's not a role player. And he is as important to that team as anyone.
Greenies. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive across from the Navy base.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. That's 800-932-1176.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk. Tell me what you know.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. If you're a non-football sports fan, it's kind of a fun day. We've got U.S. Open going on. The College World Series gets started. If you're a soccer fan, the Euros get going. NBA Finals Game 4, chance for Boston Celtics to win another championship. I believe their 18th championship in their franchise's storied history. So, yeah, football's not really going on, but there's a lot of other fun sports to rock and roll about. We're going to talk a little bit about the College World Series. You got two games coming up tonight, or this afternoon and tonight, with the first game of the College World Series over there in Bracket 1 getting underway with North Carolina and Virginia. That'll be following, not on here on the Inside Drive, but it'll be right after the Inside Drive finishes up at 1 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. David Hayes, what are you thinking about? I know we got to do pick'ems later, but we can discuss a little bit, talking about this one. North Carolina, Virginia. You want the Cavs or you want the Tar Heels?
I think whoever wins that game is going to have a better opportunity to make a deeper run in this tournament.
I think that's a very astute statement, given it is a double elimination.
Hot takes over here today,
hot
baby.
take. Usually the winners of the first games have a better opportunity because they've got one more game to play with. But
interesting here, North Carolina and Virginia.
ACC matchup.
I wish that they would have.
Yeah,
and again, you got to go by the numbers here, but I wish that they would have just ACC versus SEC. ACC versus SEC.
Would have been awesome. Would have been awesome. But you got a little ACC and SEC matchups in the same conference with Tennessee and Florida State getting kicked off at 6 p.m. tonight there on ESPN. I think this is going to be one of the more interesting games. Obviously, Florida State, pretty hot, having a great season. I don't know if Carson Dorsey's going to be on the mound tonight to kick them off, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is. And Tennessee, number one team most of the back half of the season, kind of battling it out with Arkansas and a few other teams, but looking to make a run. I think it's gonna be a great baseball game. Two great baseball games on, and then of course tomorrow in the second bracket, 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. again. You got Kentucky and NC State. There's a little ACC SEC matchup, and then Texas A&M and Florida, and that one is another just a straight up SEC matchup. Florida, what some said was a bubble team going into just making the playoffs. They weren't sure if they were going to do it at that point, and they obviously won their regional and then won the super regional against Clemson on a walk-off, and here they are in another College World Series with Jack Caglione being on the big stage.
It looks like Jamie Arnold's going to be going tonight, but I'm again, don't quote me on it. Just kind of going through 24/7 sport.
Yeah, it's not as easy to find out that information as it is Major League Baseball, that's for sure. And then it'll continue on with the losers game, the winners bracket and the losers bracket going on. The next one will be on the Sunday, the 16th. You'll have a winners bracket game, and you'll also have the losers bracket games following that. You know, if you were going up to Omaha, and I was talking to Ian about this on the way home from football practice yesterday, you know, it's basically over a 9-game span. You know, if you wanted to go to Omaha, it's just tough to go up somewhere for 9 days, you know, accommodations and all that stuff. Do you go in the beginning when you've got all these games and your team with a chance to win, or do you hope your team gets to maybe the laters in the final series, which would be next weekend? Do you do that? You know, what would you rather do as a fan of, you know, say Alabama was in the College World Series and you had the means to go and check it out? Would you go in the beginning and just see your team play, or hope that they made it and go to the second part?
That is tough.
Yeah, that's why he asked me that. I was like, I'm going to bring that up tomorrow.
I think what I would do if Alabama was in, man, it's really tough because I think the answer, everyone, I'm not picking. I'm going to all of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if you gotta pick,
yeah, you're talking about June 14th through potentially June 24th.
It would be more fun to like watch baseball continuously rather than sit there for just 3 games. So yeah, I guess I would go up for the early stretch.
Yeah. Fair answer. I think I'd be in the same boat with you, even with the team. It's just, you know, if you're a sports fan in general, just being able to, you know, watch that many high-level baseball games in a short period of time, because basically you got today.
I'd just be going back and forth from Rocco's.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, hey, whoever's got a lot of money, just give me some of it, and I'll go pick you guys up some Jello shots and just start throwing them to everybody.
Yeah, there you go. And I know Rocco's is off to a pretty hot start so far. I want to say, I'm going to look it up real quick. I want to say Kentucky was leading the last time I looked at it. I know we talked about it last year with LSU just going absolutely bonkers. But
no one's going to touch that, more than likely.
That was what, like 20, 30?
I think they had 18,000 or so.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so far, actually, excuse me, I misspoke. Tennessee is current. This was as of 12 hours ago. It was an all-time one-day record. Tennessee goes for 348 Jello shots. The whole field bought 1,621 Jello shots. The SEC goes for 869, and the ACC went for 752. And obviously, they're just getting started. But you know what a great idea from this place whenever they started it to sell these $5 Jello shots, and you know, making tons of money and making it fun for the universities up there. That, you know, it's a different type of competition, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they gave $142,000 to trivia last year. Charity last year.
Absolutely, that makes it even better. That is for sure. But there's got to be a whole team of production for Jello shots, because you know, you got to boil the water and you got to mix the Jello and make it, and then you got to add the, you know, stuff in it when you're making it. So that's a kudos to them for just taking something and just running with it. Obviously, they say you must be 21 to enter. No crap. Well, that's a serious one.
There you go.
But I'm sure there's somebody up there partaking in something that they shouldn't be. But anyway, this is kind of a completely separate but fun story, and I want to have you play a clip in the next segment as well during our Afternoon Delight debrief of Tom Brady's speech up there when he was inducted to the Patriots Hall of Fame.
I said 18,000 for LSU. It was like 68,000.
That's what I thought. I thought it was some like completely ridiculous number.
Yeah. They had that one dude from LSU that just bought a ton of them.
I remember that. I remember talking about that last year. Yeah, they got to have like an off-site Jello shot production area for this, because 68,000 Jello shots, you would just think, you know, how long would that take to make? And maybe they don't make them all. They just, you know, buy the shots. Who knows? But maybe one day we'll go up there and find out more details.
There you go. I would imagine they make them, though.
I would hope so. It would be disappointing if they didn't. But shoot, 68,000 Jello shots. That's a hard number to fathom. That's for sure. That's got to be a Guinness Book of World Records for something. We talk about world records all the time. It's got to be most made in a 10-day span or something like that. But I thought this was a cool story that came out of the Tom Brady Hall of Fame induction to the Patriots. Peyton Manning told the story of the pair's top secret workout over a decade ago. Around 2011, both Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were coming off MVP seasons despite their bitter AFC rivalry. Manning invited Brady to get together and train in private. Manning asked Brady to fly into a small town in Tennessee under the radar. The Patriots quarterback then flew in owner Robert Kraft's private plane. The two MVP quarterbacks played golf together, lifted weights together, and then threw routes together with local high school wide receivers. Manning and Brady took the phones away from the high schoolers at their workout, warning them not to tell anyone that the event has occurred. He quoted saying, "If you tell anybody that we're friends, we're going to kill all of you," which obviously was probably a joke, but half serious as well. But what a cool story to come out of that with Peyton Manning. Bitter rivalries, you just think they hate each other, but then they're doing this stuff kind of behind the scenes, not with the notoriety that a lot of other people want to have. And, imagine being those high schoolers during that workout and catching balls from Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
That would be a story that you tell your grandkids about, that's for sure.
And now they can.
And now they
because Peyton's got it out there and the cat's out of the bag. So all these high schoolers now that are probably if they were in high school 17, 18, that was 13 years ago, in their young 30s, keeping that secret. I can't imagine they told somebody, but you never.
Yeah, because it's kind of been out for a while.
Has it?
Yeah, I mean, as far as when you hear them get interviewed or whatever, and then there's been times on the Manning cast that that Peyton has brought up Tom Brady. There's definitely a high level of respect there for each
absolutely,
other. And
absolutely.
So yeah, that's it's neat though. Definitely to be the high schoolers there in that situation though, and kind of be one of the first people, because when they were actually playing, it was after Peyton retired that you started to see them. Okay, they're got in similar circles, right?
Yep.
But until that, you thought they hated each other.
Absolutely. That's what's great about sports. Bitter rivals on the field, but off the field, just doing things to help other people and all that stuff. One more cool story here, D. Hayes, and this is what makes the U.S. Open so special, is anybody can qualify for it if you've got, I think it's a 1.3 or a 1.6 handicap index or less. And I wish I would have noticed this a couple days ago when Jay was here, but the U.S. Open, this is the title of it, U.S. Open qualifier and high school science teacher Colin Prater practices with Jordan Spieth at Pinehurst. It shows a video of them meeting him, but once in a lifetime opportunity. He's a biology teacher. He's a 29-year-old and he's a golf coach from Colorado. He qualified for the U.S. Open and then got to play a practice round with Jordan Spieth, and pretty cool stuff there. I mean, how nervous did you have to be? But if you're good enough to qualify for the U.S. Open, you can handle nerves, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you just got to have a low handicap. That's neat, though, to be a teacher, be a golf teacher as well, or a golf coach, rather, and then get to play with a PGA star on a PGA course.
Yeah, on one of the toughest courses in the world, that's for sure. But
I bet that handicap got a little higher.
Absolutely. I didn't even see what he shot. I guess I could look that up real quick. I'm guessing not well, but you really never know. His name was Prater. Yeah, Colin. He shot 79 yesterday. I mean,
that ain't bad.
It's not horrible for your first ever U.S. Open. Happened to be at Pinehurst number 2.
Better than I would do on a video game.
No doubt about that. Tough golf course indeed. And Thomas Dietrich did get to 5 under at one point, but he just made a bogey. He's now, 5 under on the day, 6 under for the tournament. He's now back at 5 under, tied with Patrick Cantlay, who tees off in about another hour and a half. Rory McIlroy still hanging in there on his last hole, 1 over par for the day, 4 under par for the tournament. That could be leading here going into the weekend. Ludwig Aubert still has to tee off at 1:36 p.m. Bryson DeChambeau playing a great round of golf, even par on his last hole as well. Matthew Pavon, Jay's sleeper pick, who had a great round yesterday, tees off at 1:58. Hideki Matsuyama, he's tied for the best round on the golf course right now at 4 under par with 3 to go. He's 2 under par for the tournament. Canadian Taylor Pendrith, nice 3 under par round today so far, 2 under par. Tony Finau, 2 under par yesterday, has not teed off yet. Afternoon wave slowly getting started. Tom Kim, 1 under par, 2 under pars round today, nice 68. Tyrell Hatton, who we talked about, currently top 10. He shot 1 over today, which is an absolutely great round. He is 1 under par for the tournament. Xander, after getting it to 3 under par, has now maintained maintained there, the 1 under par round and 1 under for the tournament, currently tied for 10th. Again, it looks like that cut line is your top 60 in ties right now, still at 3 over par gets you in, but I'm going to guess that moves a little bit further as the afternoon wave really gets rocking and rolling. You got some really high golf scores out there as well. You got a couple guys at plus 14, some notable names that are pretty deep in there. Gordon Sargent, tough day today, plus 7 in that one. Phil Mickelson still hasn't teed off yet today. Harry Higgs, a lot of high scores, of course, but I'm also hoping for Neil Shipley to rock that low amateur, because that was one I was like, he played well at the Masters. He's a cool dude to follow, so a lot more golf to get sorted out there underway. But Pinehurst, just a special, and NBC, Universal, Peacock, all that, they're doing a great job with the coverage. I mean, you can watch all sorts of coverage all day long on the website. If you got Peacock, they got all that good stuff. It's just it's synonymous with Father's Day weekend, and that's the U.S. Open. So hopefully we'll be crowning maybe a new champion, maybe a repeat champion, as you got 2 guys currently in the top 5 that have former U.S. Open victories, and that's Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy. Obviously, Bryson DeChambeau plays on the LIV Tour now, but this golf course kind of suits his game as he hits the ball a mile. He had 2 drives yesterday. One of them was like 353, and then he hit one on, I think, 16 that was 379.
Golly.
That's long drive stuff.
Yeah.
Now, it's firm and fast, but you still got to take a cut.
Almost 4 football.
Yeah, it's nuts to hit a ball that far in the air. And, the warmer it is, the further it goes. And like Alan was saying, the air is dry up there, so that humidity has a tendency. I think Rory McIlroy just finished up his round today with a bogey. So he shot 2 over for his round today, but he's comfortably at 3 under par moving into the weekend. So I think if you asked Rory if he was 3 under par going into Saturday, would he like that? I guarantee he would definitely like that and take that. But you're listening to The Inside Drive. We got to take our top of the hour break. We'll be right back for some afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
We were the city of all the franchises most recently that have finished bridesmaids. And a lot of people were giving us gripe about that. Look at Philly fans. Oh, they're finishing second again. Well, we finished second. Where were you at? You weren't even in the championship game, were you? So shut your ass.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 93 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 78. About the same tomorrow, around 92 with sunshine and a wind out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour. Partly sunny in the morning and then possible thunderstorms Sunday and hot around 90. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Life can take us so many places. And at Panama City Toyota, we're here to make sure every drive is worth every minute.
Maybe you want a fun, fuel-efficient car for everyday driving. Or you need a dependable vehicle that really gets the job done. Sometimes it's all about answering the call of the wild. And when you're ready to shop, reserve your vehicle online and choose your options. Or we'll help you in person, even if you started the process at home.
Whatever works for you, always works for us.
Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. They take pride in caring for their customers' property by providing lawn and whole house pest control. Whether you have roaches or any other unwanted bugs in your home, Turf Pro has you covered. Or if your lawn needs weed control, fertilize, insect control, Turf Pro has you covered by providing custom treatments to meet your property's needs. No property is the same, so why should it be treated that way? Turf Pro, where the blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Call 850-890-5820.
WGSX Lynn Haven, W Field, Q Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites. The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Brian Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe, along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can watch, listen, like, comment, share, subscribe, social media, Facebook, X, YouTube. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. And then if you want to download our free mobile app, you got to search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida inside the Google Play or Apple Store. Follow us on TikTok, inside.drive. And then, of course, go to ESPNPC.com. While you're there, click the Best of Bay button and go ahead and vote. We've got lots of shows in lots of categories, but most importantly, help ESPN Northwest Florida get one of these shows in multiple categories and make some stuff happen. And all you got to do is log in each day per email address, click vote. It's easy as that. If you do it 25 times, you'll be entered to win a $250 gift card from the official Community Choice Awards from the Panama City News Herald. The Best of Bay competition been going on for a long time. And then I know Ross has been calling number 7 a lot. And Kyle, I like what you said. I'll bet on Ross to be the number 10 caller, and he'll I need to bet him to be the number 7 caller, and then he would be the number 10 caller. And yes, I did bet on the Niners to win the Super Bowl last year, and my losing streak when I bet people continues, that's for sure. But hopefully you got a couple more chances for the 7-year send-off for the Atlanta Braves and our 7-year anniversary coming up on Monday. You've got only 2 more chances, one coming up here in about 40 minutes, and then one more coming up in about 4 hours and 40 minutes, and that'll be on the Afternoon Underdogs at 5:40. You guys know the deal. You hear the cue to call. Call number 10, 850-215-6290. You'll win a sweet qualifying prize today. I'm going to assume it's a jersey or something fun like that, but all the qualifying prizes have been awesome, and you'll be automatically entered to win the all-inclusive trip to see the Atlanta Braves play, who ended their losing streak yesterday, finally. The Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, September 7th. That's going to include your lodging, spending cash, food and beverage at the game, as well as amazing seats at the Xfinity Club. As you guys already know, you can qualify as many times as you like, but we only got 2 more chances. That's here in a little bit, and then this afternoon. We appreciate PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, and Home 2 Suites for making this 7-year send-off happen. That is for sure. Whew, that's a lot of stuff. And, of course, our studio sponsor, Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. All you got to do is give them a call, show up. They got lots of new vehicles in stock, express service, regular service, tires at cost. They've got huge opportunities, a lot of new incentives on new vehicles. And then, of course, it is fishing season. Yes, it's hot, but that's when the fish are out there biting. We've got tarpon, snapper, grouper, whatever it may be. If you need a boat, there's only one place to go. That's Kramer Marine and Outdoor. You can also get them to fix your boat right there at your dock. If they can't do it there, they'll tow it back to the dealership. If you don't like driving trailers like me, they are perfect for that. And of course, if you don't want to have your boat anymore, you're tired of it, they'll sell it for you. All they do is take a small little piece of that, but they just pick it up and they make it easy and they take great care of you just like they do at the dealership. Whew.
One-stop shop, baby.
One-stop shop, the mecca of boat and car dealerships. Another thing coming out of the Tom Brady, this was probably a couple days ago, but I thought I came across this clip this morning, and I, of course, had to show it to my kids. They probably get tired of me showing them stuff like this, but just trying to kind of subliminally get them going. But Tom Brady had a message kind of for all the athletes out there of, what you really need to do to be successful is there's a lot of sacrifices that can be made, but David Hayes got a clip for us he's about to play.
Play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you look at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life. No matter who you are.
That's the one thing about the Instagram. But, I mean, just...
And they don't have no time on it.
No, you don't know what is
maybe a little
coming.
bar or
I think you did
something.
fantastic, though, because you had to go between two different, I don't know if you call them slides or whatever it is. But, I mean, just good stuff from the GOAT there. Just... that's what it takes, not just in sports, but in life. Like, you could sit back and, take the easy road, but are you going to get ahead? I don't know.
No, I mean, you might shortcut for a little while, but it won't be.
It'll eventually catch up to you.
Yeah, it will, man. So yeah, great stuff there, and it's all about the team, man. And the more that, man, you can go to any sport that I've ever played, and you could take the player that every other player would vote as the worst player on the team, right? And if they come into the game and it's a blowout, whatever it is, if it's a close game and they have a bad attitude, they can throw the team off of the rails at that point. So, yeah, you're having a good attitude. I love that, though, at the end. It's not about it being anything special. It's just about being consistent, determined, and working hard.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show you, you got to have some God-given talent, too. That's for sure. To be at the highest level possible.
Somewhere, yeah.
But you can outwork people with talent that don't want to do the work. Hands down, all the time. And that's
all the time.
That's just one of the big things I try to instill. And the kids are so young, and we have a lot of fun with them out there. But you've got if it's something you want to put and continue on and make that big step in, you've got to make sacrifices. You got to decide what's important and what's not. And I can even remember, growing up playing junior golf, and I was pretty good, and I played really well in high school, and did well outside of that. But my senior year, did I do as much as I could have to really give myself the best opportunity at the next level? Probably not. Now, do I regret that? I don't know, because golf is so damn hard. And did I want to spend my college time, just golfing? I don't know. But, looking back on it, maybe a couple extra trips to the range or stuff like that, and who knows what would have been different. But hey, it's your choice, and what you want to put into it is what you'll get out of it. That's for sure. But just some great stuff there from Tom Brady, and I always like that kind of stuff here on Friday, just getting everybody a little bit more fired up, a little more motivated going into this Father's Day weekend. I do have some odd news. It is the Afternoon Delight
there we
debrief.
go.
So
ADD.
Yeah, it's this. Imagine this has something to do with an animal.
Oh yes, sir.
And it's not a kangaroo, unfortunately. But the gentleman who wrote this article's name is Ben Hopper. So might be Hooper, but we're going to go with Hopper.
Is there two O's?
Yeah. It's Hooper.
Well,
but we're going to go with Hopper just for the pun.
Here we go, rabbit.
The escaped monkey reunited with owner in North Carolina. This is from today. Animal control and police officers in North Carolina helped reunite an escaped pet monkey with its owner. The Surf City Police Department initially announced in a Facebook post that a loose monkey had been caught on camera near a marsh after escaping from its home in the Canal Streets area. If you have any information or sightings, please contact the authorities immediately, police wrote. Police later said the post to update the post to say the monkey had been found and reunited with its owner. A second post featured photos of Chief Phil Voorhees getting up close and personal with the monkey after its capture. Chief Voorhees enjoys the unexpected afternoon visit with the adventurous monkey who got loose. Never a boring day in Surf City, the post said. Thank you to Pender County Animal Control for your assistance on the successful capture and reunification of the monkey with its owner. I feel like if you had a kangaroo, we might have that story go down as well.
Yeah, if I had one.
Yeah. I know.
It's getting further and further away from that being a reality.
If anybody knows any ways to get some kangaroo permits, just give us a call, 850.
You know what's better than owning a kangaroo? A friend with a kangaroo.
It's like a friend with a boat.
Exactly.
It's better than having a boat.
I think I would prefer that method. So if anyone out there has like a little kangaroo sanctuary here in the state of Florida, let me come visit.
That'd be cool.
I'll walk the kangaroos.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
Yeah, there you go. Ride around in their Joey pouches.
Yeah. There you go.
I think they're kind of gross on the inside.
I would imagine so. I don't know if I'd be wanting to hop in.
I think the human brain says, oh, yeah, it's probably soft and fuzzy in there. No, I think it's like raw, just like skin and warmth and
mucus.
I don't know if there's, I hope there's not mucus.
Like a mucus like membrane type deal to keep it moist in there.
I guess you got to keep it's basically keeping the baby warm. That is for sure. That is for sure. I see Jay's magnet fishing New York safe containing the $100,000. They're now trying to preserve the cash before it disintegrates. They had a little update on that story.
So what is their goal?
To preserve the cash?
Well, no, of course that's their goal. I'm saying, what's their method, rather?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll dive into it. See if it actually tells me or not.
Probably tough to find.
Yeah. Treasure hunting, salvageable cash, seeming in hopes of having it cataloged and replaced at the U.S. Treasury Department's Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
So they like give them the serial numbers and then they'll be able to replace it for them.
Yes, and it's the Treasury employee estimated there appeared to be $50,000 to $70,000 worth of recoverable cash in a plastic bag brought in by the couple. The man told Kane and Agostini that the money would be counted and replaced with fresh cash, which they would be able to take home tax-free. The one time you don't get taxed on anything.
How is Uncle Sam? I mean, like, daggum, work for something and you get taxed, find something, and it's like, okay, we got you.
You could say you're working for that, too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Action.
There you go.
So yeah, a little update to Jay's Afternoon Delight debrief. They've been able to preserve some cash and they're going to replace it.
I saw a bumper sticker today that said, tax this Richard. It did not say Richard, but there's a nickname for Richard. Tax this Richard. And then it had it was a quote, Benjamin Franklin.
Nice. Whew. Hey, I know one of our candidates is throwing around getting rid of the income tax.
Really?
That would be something. There's something to be said when you don't get taxed as much, you spend more money, and then in turn you make more tax.
I mean, taxes, they have to happen, right?
Yeah,
You can't
it's
just
how the
abolish
government
taxes.
operates.
But it would be interesting to see, though, like if 380 million people band together one year and said, you know what, like you guys can't, you've got us trillions of dollars in debt.
Yep.
You don't even have an idea of what's going on. We're going to take a 1 year hiatus and just see what you guys do there. But, that would that would take some banding together.
Absolutely. And hey, you never know. It could just be what comes down. But there's something to be said when you don't have to pay as much tax on the money you earn. You technically spend more money. And there's something called sales tax that also goes to the government. I don't know. Maybe we need to have a tea party or something like that.
50% of our income, which it kind of gets to, right? Because every time that you buy something,
more
it's
than
taxed.
50%.
Yeah, I would agree with that too, especially kind of the higher it just depends on how good you are with the loopholes, right?
And Florida, I mean, I know we're a tourism state, but Florida, we don't have state income tax, and we have a huge budget surplus. Now, we do have tourism.
We are the most expensive state to live in now.
That is true. But we're also the most financially stable state as well.
There you go.
But again, something to be said. Who knows? Anyway, I'll pivot back to animals. This was from yesterday. Iowa Great Iowa Great Dane dubbed world's tallest dog at 3 feet 2 inches. That's obviously standing on all fours. An Iowa family's Great Dane has been named the world's tallest dog, living at a height of 3 feet 2 inches. That's a pretty tall fella.
Yeah,
for a dog.
38 inches.
Yeah, look at you,
man.
Jay would have had to get out his phone for that one, but that's okay.
But he would have came to the correct solution.
Indeed. I mean, you got a calculator in your pocket all the time now.
All the time.
That's why we're getting less smart. Guinness World Records said the Des Moines, Iowa canine named Kevin. God, I know somebody else has a dog named Kevin. I love dogs that have like human names. It's just funny, like Steve and Bob.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. But Kevin was officially measured at 3 feet 2 inches from his feet to his withers, the point at the base of his neck over his shoulders. The record-keeping organization said Kevin is the first holder of the title since the previous record holder, a fellow Great Dane named Zeus, passed away last year. Zeus was measured at 3 feet 5 and 0.18 inches tall. Kevin, who is 3 years old, was named for the protagonist of the 2 Home Alone movies. Jay, what does protagonist mean? We'll skip over that.
He'll answer Monday.
There you go. But owner said he does not quite have the namesake's courage. It took extra time to measure him because he was afraid of the measuring tape. Kevin is the epitome of a gentle giant, owner Tracy Wolf told the Guinness World Records. In fact, he's scared of most things. He's terrified of the vacuum, although I don't know what dogs aren't typically terrified of the vacuum. He won't come to within 6 feet of him, and he will jump and run away. Wolf said Kevin's favorite activities include snoozing on the couch and snuggling with Wolf, her husband Roger, and their kids Alexander 12 and Ava 10. The tallest dog ever, coincidentally named Zeus, was measured at 3 feet 8 inches tall in 2011. That's not even the top of his head. That's just the top of his shoulders at the base of his neck. And
it's a big old dog.
Standing up on all fours, I mean, and that's the thing about...
Gentle giant.
Yeah, Great Danes are all gentle giants. A lot of those big dogs are all gentle giants, and a lot of them will be afraid of little dogs, too.
Yeah.
It's that little dog complex. Some call it a Napoleon complex, but for dogs, it's, I don't know what you call it, but yeah, little fun fact there. Great Dane.
Chihuahua complex.
The Chihuahua complex. There you go. A Mexico complex.
Taco Bell.
Bong. Oh man, there's a few more. I don't know if we want to really dive in. I know we got Aaron Bearden coming up here. Just a few minutes. All right, this is a good one because Caveman Rick, Philly. I just read the title really quick. It seems like a very Philadelphia type of one. Meats, cheeses left dangling from a greased pole for nearly a month in Philadelphia. This is from June 13th. Organizers of the Philadelphia Festival that ended nearly a month ago said they are working on a plan to remove meats and cheeses that were accidentally left dangling from a greased pole. Here's some context, the annual Italian Market Festival has a tradition of dangling Italian meats and cheeses from a greased pole for visitors to attempt to climb and claim the prizes. But this year's event left the dangling foods unclaimed. Organizers said a crane was brought in on the last day of the festival to remove the leftover prizes, but the weather conditions led to a surge of visitors late in the day that prevented the removal from going forward as planned. The sacks of meat and cheese have been dangling from the pole for nearly a month amid the hot and humid temperatures, leading to fears the food items will rot. But visitors to the site have not determined any obnoxious odors yet. The festival organizers say they are working on plans for another crane to visit the Italian market to remove the meats and cheeses, but they said it will be a difficult process as the market is often extremely crowded.
Man, that'll be really funny whenever, it does start spoiling and smelling, and then it might clear out a little bit, so that'll give them the room to get up there with the cranes and get those things down.
Or maybe just close the market for 3 hours and get the crane in there and take it down. Now, I don't know how tight and all that, or how big of it. How tall is this grease pole?
It's got to be pretty tall if they're talking about getting a crane.
You need to talk to Rick and see if he's ever attended the event.
All right,
I could see him trying to climb that pole.
I don't know about climbing a greasy pole. I don't know about anybody trying to climb a greasy pole.
They probably just
you could try.
It'd be tougher if it was just not greased. It's tough to climb a pole in general.
Oh yeah, it would be impossible. Or not impossible. It'd be really tough with it not being greased. With it being greased, impossible. And there's probably a reason that it's greased, so people don't try to climb it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Has Travis been on the line for a while?
No, about 2 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Hey, Travis, we got about 2 minutes. I didn't see the text. I was diving into grease poles in Philadelphia. What you got for us today?
Well, so I've actually got a real quick story about a Great Dane. Y'all were talking about a Great Dane.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, when I was younger, I was real scared of dogs. I was not a dog person. I'm a very big dog person now, but back then I was scared of them. My mom told me a story of when she was a kid and almost got killed by one. Yeah, it really freaked me out. So every time I'd go to a buddy's house, I'd ask them to put their dogs up because I was freaked out about it. Well, one day I went to what my best friend now, but back then, that was my first time going over to his house. Parents were a little strict, and his dad, I went up and I said, I'm scared of dogs. I would like, if y'all could put them up. And, like I said, he was a strict, older, ways. And he said, I'm not going to torture my dogs because you're scared of them. You either deal with them or not be here. And he had a Great Dane and a German Shepherd. So
big dogs.
That freaked me out. They were very nice dogs, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, both of them are gone now. The one thing that I've ever seen happen was that Great Dane, one time, he had sisters, too, and they were one of the boys just as much as everybody else was. So they would start hitting us in the arm, you know, that we were kind of close to the same age, all of us. So one time, one of the girls came in and they hit one of my buddies in the arm, and they hit him back in the arm. And that Great Dane, I swear, jumped up and bit his cheek and put him on the floor.
Ah,
Never did anything else. It didn't come over him or anything. It just wanted him to come down.
Yeah.
You don't hurt, you know, because she's like, ow, you know, did that. And the dog thought she was really in distress. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the beauties of dogs. I mean, they can be great protectors as well. But, you know, typically the personality dog has a lot to do with their breed, but also how their owners raise them, too. So, but, hey, Travis, we got to jump off real quick because we got Aaron Bearden on the line waiting for us. So appreciate you giving us a call. Go Gators for you this weekend. Hopefully maybe we'll have an FSU Gators final. That would be something, that's for sure.
I'm hoping so.
There you go. Have a great weekend, Travis. Happy Father's Day on Sunday. All right, when we get back, we'll have Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards on the line. And I did confirm Jay is going to call in the final segment so we can do our picks right after our last winner here on the Inside Drive. We'll be right back with Aaron Bearden.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze around 9 miles per hour coming out of the south, and look for it to be 93. Tonight there will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 78. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 92. Sunday will have a high of 90 and some sun in the morning, followed by a chance of thunderstorms. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
In the jewelry business, there is no substitute for experience. David Adamson has over 46 years of experience, 32 of those in Lynn Haven. Designing and creating fine jewelry is more than a job for David, it's a joy. If you're looking for a spectacular jewelry design that says you, or perhaps you need your jewelry repaired, look no further than David Adamson Designer Jewelry. All work is done in-house and always to your complete satisfaction. Stop in today at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue in Lynn Haven. They're on Facebook and at pcjeweler.com.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
It all seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Friday. It's our 12:20 segment. So we've got our good friend down there at Instant Replay in the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza, Aaron Bearden, on the line. Aaron, how are you on this Friday? And you guys got a lot going on.
Fantastic, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Jay's finishing up his junior camp this week. He's got one more next week, and then I think we'll have him the Friday after that, so we can get back into the normal routine of him playing a very simple song for you to, easily guess.
I was going to say, it sounded like he upgraded his guitar work there a second ago. It sounded like some Vernon Reed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, if he's doing that on the show, then he's a different person than we thought he was. That's for sure. That's for sure. But hey, there's a lot going on. You got the wrestling event coming up. It's Father's Day weekend. Tell everybody a little bit about that. What's going on, and then you have some stuff going on for Father's Day as well.
Certainly, yeah, big weekend down here. Obviously, this week was the release of Top Series 2 baseball. People have been waiting on this since Series 1 came out. Topps has got a really good look this year, and the rest of the league is going to be in Series 2. So if you missed your favorite player in Series 1, come down and check them out. We're undercutting the online guys. So definitely come see us. We got the hobby, the jumbo, the retail, the value boxes, doing them cheaper than Walmart and Target. So definitely no reason to grab them anywhere else. Come see us. In addition to that, yes, we got some deals for Father's Day. We've got a sale rack out. We've got baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, combat sports, all kind of products on there. Come down and grab Dad a box that he can open up and, say thank you for all that he's done for you.
There you go. And potentially give him a
cards.
Yeah, no, definitely potentially, opportunity to have something in there that he can, it's an investment, so to speak, as well. So
sure. And then, like you mentioned, it's a big weekend. We've got that wrestling event tomorrow, XIW Wrestling, Chasing Gold, North Bay Haven Gym at 5 p.m. But they got all kind of great matches going on. They got an 8-man gauntlet match. They got championship matches. They got a bounty, all this cool stuff happening. Middleweight champ Bubba Shattuck's going to be out there. But we will be there selling cards as well, and we will have some stuff we have never had in the shop before. So if you're going to go check out the XIW Wrestling, come by and see us. We're going to have some wrestling cards, some USC, some things that you just have not seen in the shop, and some great deals out there for the dads as well.
Absolutely. What time is that again at North Bay Haven?
The doors open at 4 p.m. The wrestling starts at 5 o'clock, they tell me.
There you go. There you go. So you guys are going to be set up selling stuff right there. That's some awesome stuff you can't get in store.
Yeah, and we'll still have our regular in-store breaks tomorrow at noon. Have a gang of folks hanging out and opening boxes and trading cards and doing all that fun stuff on Saturday. And the shop will still be open even after we go set up there. So be here 10 to 7 tomorrow, and then we'll be at the wrestling event at the same time tomorrow at 5.
There you go.
A couple of great ways to come catch us.
Hey, absolutely. Multiple places. And, if you haven't been able to get by the store and you want to be able to head out there to North Bay Haven, see an awesome wrestling event and pick up some cool stuff and, maybe kill two birds with one stone, take Dad to the event, get Dad some presents while you're there. Hey, it's all right there for you and what you guys are doing. Also, you got coming up next week, I believe the 27th is the Thursday, or excuse me, it's a little over 2 weeks, but it feels like it's coming close. But I don't know if there's a whole lot of spots left in your June edition of the Big Break, is there?
No, there absolutely are not. I think we're down to about the last 5 or so spots. It's a random team break for those that don't know. The break is where we take a bunch of products, in this case, boxes of cards and unopened autographed mystery memorabilia, and everybody buys one random team out of the NFL, so there are 32 spots. Each spot you buy, you're getting assigned a team at random. We open those products up. You get everything for that team, whether it's a rookie card, autographed jersey. There's all sorts of cool stuff in this break. There's only just a handful of teams left available. You can get those at our website, instantReplaySportsCards.com, or you can come in the shop and get a spot personally.
There you go.
But, a lot of fun. You can find all the information on our website, instantReplaySportsCards.com. As far as which boxes, which products are going to be in there, it's stuff to look forward to.
Absolutely. 2 great years. You're covering some potential huge rookie opportunities. You've got the 2023 Origins, the 2023 Donruss, the 2021 Select, the 2021 Encased, and like you said, you've got 1 TriStar Hidden Treasure signed football mini helmet, 2 mystery signed jerseys with authentication, and then 1 mystery signed football as well. And one of the things you do with this, obviously now with only a couple spots left, it's gone and past. fast. But the next break that you got coming up in July, whenever that may be, if you're interested in these breaks, the faster you jump on them, the more incentives, and sometimes you do a little bit less price too as well when you jump in these.
Certainly. When we first put them up, we do like a 25% discount for people who want to go ahead and get in early. And the way it works is we add products as we go along, but we start adding products, the price goes back up, those early bird prices go away. So we'll still add some more to this break, but definitely jump on in. Don't wait to see. We always add more than what the dollar amount adds up to. So jump in and potentially get some great stuff. I honestly, personally, had forgotten some of what was in it. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Hey.
A couple of great 2021 products. Hey, this is your shot. Go ahead and invest in Trevor Lawrence because the Jags sure did.
We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Yeah, making him the second highest paid right now quarterback. That's for sure. And it just that was his rookie year, right?
Yes, 2021. Both Jacksonville quarterbacks are in there. So,
yeah, that's right. Mac Jones.
Something goes on with Trevor Lawrence, then Mac Jones will step up. They're both in 2021.
There you go. And 2023 obviously was a big year last year with C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Puka Nacua had some huge, Kyrene Williams, just a lot of huge rookies last year as well. Then I'm sure as we progress on, this year will be big
not
too.
Too late for Bryce Young as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He showed a lot of ability in college. A little rough start last year, but who knows? May turn it around.
There you go. It's one of those things. Usually when you're the number one pick, you're going to a team that's not the number one team and makes it a little bit challenging. But here he is, year two. You never know what they can make happen. That's for sure. Future former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I
think if you rattle off the list of the 10 best quarterbacks right now in the NFL, probably 8 of them would say their second season was markedly better than their rookie season.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
You may join that club.
There you go. And I saw you guys had a lucky customer who pulled 3 cards out of a 5-card wild card mat box that had some pretty special cards in it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wild card mat's a cool football product. Matte just meaning, it's a matte finish.
Yeah.
They're not super glossy like a lot of modern cards. 5 cards in the box, all 5 autographed. Customer got 2 Desmond Ritters. One was numbered 1 of 3. One was a 1 of 1. Tyson Bagent, who was, Bears quarterback last season. Help me out here. Detroit Lions. Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep, Aiden Hutchinson. That looks like it's a autograph there. And then, of course, one near and dear to my heart, a very low numbered 4 out of 10. Not a rookie card, but still a great card. Brock Purdy autographed one there.
Brock Purdy, yeah. So, I know not every one of those guys had the best season last year. But the amazing thing about that box, what's really cool is they're all 5 guys who have played in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of times with the football stuff, they sort of pad it with some collegiate guys or maybe some linemen or something, along that line. These were, 5 notable players that have fans, performed to varying degrees. But, yeah, that was a really, really cool box.
Definitely. Those wild card mats, maybe not as popular, the wild card brand, maybe not as popular as a lot of the other ones, but they've got some really cool cards and a lot of different products. And I've had the fortune to have a couple 101. I think I got a 101 Bryce Young. It's not autographed, but a wild card mat rookie card. And they just, it's a cool kind of, I want to say like a popular brand, but a brand that makes some pretty unique and some pretty cool stuff.
Certainly, yeah. They do some different configurations that some of the other, maybe some of the brands you've heard of don't necessarily do. They're trying to shake things up. They know they're the little guy, the underdog. They got to compete. And, some of those brands, some of those smaller brands, what they offer is maybe not the chance to hit that huge card that you're going to, buy your own private island off of selling. But they usually give you a little bit better return on your investment.
Yeah, I would say that.
If you buy a $150 box of Wild Card or Leaf, one of those kind of companies, I would say your chances of getting your $150 back are pretty decent. Some of the other companies, they're more expensive products, and it's very, very easy to not get that money back. We've seen people over the years open a $500, $600 box of, some of the other stuff, and get $20 or $30 worth of cards out of it.
Yeah, and that's the gamble, so to speak. But and you guys, this stuff to a T. So when somebody comes in, you can kind of guide them in the right direction. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, but you can kind of guide them in the right direction. Say, hey, I want to spend $200. What's my best opportunity, best bang for my buck, value-wise, to potentially at least get what I put into it out of it?
Sure. Yeah, and that's a lot of times, for people who are doing this as sort of a gamble, / investment, with the idea of, I'm going to open this box up, I'm going to get some good cards that I can sell, and get my money and all that. If you're thinking of it like gambling, well, I think professional gamblers would tell you that your smart money is in the, kind of the small wins. You win a little, just try not to lose big.
Yeah.
And with some of those smaller companies, that is sort of the way to go. Like I said, if you buy a $150, $200 Leaf box, Wild Card box, Onyx, the chance that you're going to at least break even, and every once in a while you'll hit something pretty good out of it. But I really rarely ever see somebody get, $150 Leaf box and get $20, $30 worth of cards.
Yeah.
It's usually something good. In fact, we had a Leaf baseball box opened a few months ago. I think it had like 8 or 10 autographs in it. There was a Shohei Ohtani autograph and a Paul Skeens autograph in the same box.
Wow. That's pretty special, that's for sure, especially if he keeps doing what he's been doing.
Certainly, yeah. And that's just those kind of configurations you don't necessarily see always in some of the bigger companies. They kind of know that, like, hey, we can give you one good one, but we can't give you 2 top guys at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a question
we had those wild card boxes in 2022. We had wild card boxes with more than one Brock Purdy autograph per box.
That's wild. That's a lucky person.
Yeah,
that's a lucky person. That's for sure. But had a question from one of our listeners. With the popularity of Caitlin Clark and the WNBA and it being so much in the news right now and more focus on women's basketball probably than ever, are you seeing an uptick in demand for WNBA cards? Are the products out there? Do you guys carry them?
Yes, there is an uptick in demand. I've had more people ask for WNBA cards in the last 90 days or so than in the 5 years prior to that. The thing is always the supply catching up to the demand. So because WNBA did not bring in the viewership, say, of NBA or some of the other sports leagues, they just weren't making as many different sets and as many different offerings of WNBA. I'm sure that's going to change over the next 12 months.
Yeah,
I think next year with 2025 basketball, we're going to see a lot more WNBA products. So we do carry them when they come out. There's just not as many. They don't make as much of the product because they don't anticipate selling as much. But like I said, that's going to change. So when they offer it, we do carry it. We've carried it for the last several years. And one thing they've done that I think has helped somewhat is they've started incorporating men's and women's basketball in some of the basketball products.
Okay.
And
nice.
I think it's helped educate some of the collectors who maybe wouldn't have paid attention to it on their own. And they're starting to see that, maybe they were a traditional NBA fan and they open up a box of these cards and they get a WNBA autograph or, a serial number card that they maybe wouldn't have thought about before, and suddenly they go, wait a second, this card is, $200 on eBay or something like that. That's more than the NBA guy that I bought the box to it for.
Yep.
So it's kind of, it's helping educate and kind of open their minds a little bit to, hey, there's good stuff out there in all these sports. There are collectors that want these cards.
Absolutely.
You just gotta find them. Gotta get the cards.
There you go. And there's one place to go for that, and that's Instant Replay Sports Cards, no doubt about it. But Aaron, I know you got a big weekend coming up. Got the wrestling event, Father's Day specials, your normal Saturday break. You got Kids Club coming up tonight as usual.
Absolutely. At 6 to 8 p.m. tonight, Kids Club. Kids come down. They do some very affordable breaks. I'm talking like $10. Get your kid in on a break. And we always give them plenty for their money, make sure they go home with a lot of cards. They can trade with other kids. They can learn about the hobby. And we do all kind of fun stuff with them to make sure that the kids really enjoy it and just kind of give them a fun place to hang out on a Friday evening.
Absolutely. Keep them out of trouble and get into a great hobby that they can do for the rest of their lives. That's for sure. Aaron, we appreciate your time as always. Good luck with the event this weekend. And if anybody's looking for a place to get Dad a present last minute, go down there to Instant Replay Sports Cards, the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza. Aaron, have a great weekend.
Catch us at XIW Chasing Gold at North Bay Haven tomorrow at 5 p.m.
There you go.
So,
awesome, Aaron.
You guys, man, you'll have a great weekend. Everybody out there, take care of yourselves.
Thank you very much. All right, David, it's that time. It's our last time here on the Inside Drive, and that is the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. If you are caller number 10, 850-215-6290, you'll go away with a sweet qualifying prize, our last one here on the Inside Drive. And then, of course, you'll be entered to win the all-inclusive trip to experience the Atlanta Braves play the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, September 7th. Includes hotel, spending cash, food and beverage at the game, and amazing seats at the Xfinity Club. We appreciate PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, and Home 2 Suites for sponsoring this wonderful event. When we get back, we'll be joined by the winner, and then Jay Henley's going to call in. We're going to wrap up this week with some R Pick'em. You're listening to the Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Seem to live and die going to Michigan message boards. And if Michigan was so much in trouble, Buckeye boy, why is your recruiting star leaving Columbus if we're going to get the death penalty and all supposed infractions that you guys are saying? Second staffer.
How many running backs have you landed?
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue? And tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Quarter. We've got our last winner from the Inside Drive. This is our 10th one, and I believe the second time he's qualified. That's our good friend Jason on the line. Jason, congratulations. How are you doing on this warm but beautiful Friday?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing fantastic. Obviously, you got two opportunities to head up there. I'm going to ask you the same questions we ask everybody. You been up to Truist Park before?
Every year, yes, sir.
There you go. And maybe this time you'll head up twice, or on the house this time. But
yes,
we'll give away those tickets on Monday. But were you excited to see the Braves finally break that 5-game losing streak yesterday?
Absolutely.
Man,
I'm getting a little bit worried.
It's kind of the tale of 2 years, that's for sure. But what do you think? No panic meter. We're kind of getting there a little bit, or still long enough season, and trade deadline coming up here in a little bit. Maybe make some things happen to get it moving in the right direction.
Definitely long enough season, and with so many spots for playoffs now, it might not be so bad to be second, or the wild card.
Absolutely. That number one seed didn't prove very well last time, so maybe a different route will benefit us, that's for sure. Well, we appreciate you listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Congratulations on your 2 qualifying and your sweet prizes that you get with that. And then make sure you stay tuned on Monday to see who's going up there to Atlanta in September.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, you got it. Have a great weekend. And if you are a dad, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you very much. All right, David, get him on the line. It's time. We got to bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself. I took that from Coach James Hale. That's Jay Henley. We're about to get him on the line here momentarily. I'll give you a quick U.S. Open update. Thomas Dietrich still hanging in there at 4 under par in his round today, tied for first at -5 with Patrick Cantlay. Bryson DeChambeau had a nice finish to his round, a nice 1 under par round today to complement his 3 under par round yesterday. So he is head into the weekend, currently tied for third at 4 under par. Great start to his U.S. Open campaign here, as he's won the U.S. Open before. And, of course, Ludwig Aubert, he tees off at 1:36 p.m. He's -4. Rory McIlroy shot 2 over today, but again, like I said earlier, 3 under par. I think he'd be very, very happy with that. We got him on the line? Oh, yeah. And I was just about to talk to him about his boy, Matthew Pavon, who tees off here in about a little over an hour. He's -3. Hideki Matsuyama made a great push with a 4 under round 66 today. Best round in the house thus far. But let's bring him in. He's done with his second junior camp of the summer. Jay Henley, what's up?
Ryan, Mulvey, good. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. It's weird to hear you on the line versus in studio. You sound a little more like you're about to call a NASCAR race.
Go! Hey, how about that?
See?
Green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogie. Let's go racing, boys.
See? We just got to get him out of the studio and he comes out of his shell.
He would crush it as a NASCAR broadcaster.
Absolutely. We got to make that happen. New career.
Oh, goodness.
All right. How did you, before we dive into our pick'em, how'd the junior camp go?
Fantastic. We had a camp MVP this afternoon. Jonah Gagnon was the camp MVP.
Nice. Scored the most points.
He did. He's 8 years old, and I tell you what, he's going to be something special here in about 10 years if he keeps up the game. He's driving the ball about 185 off the tee. This kid's 8 years old.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. This kid like 5 or 4'8", like a $130. He's cranking it out there.
$130. He hadn't even reached triple digits yet.
Jeez, and he's hitting it 185. He's got to have some serious swing speed.
Well, I tell you, he builds a good foundation with his feet. He
got
gets
great
a good
rhythm and
wide
balance.
stance and rhythm and balance, and it goes a long ways. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But congratulations to him this afternoon. He played hard all week and got some cool prizes to lead with.
Sweet. So. You can do it one more time next week, and then you get a couple-week break, right, before your last one?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
We're going to enjoy that one.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get bailed out a little bit next week. I think you probably won't be here Tuesday and Friday, if I had to guess.
That sounds fair.
Not to put you on the spot. And then maybe we'll see you a little bit on Wednesday and Thursdays. But Marty from Boston is going to come hang out with us a good bit next week. So looking forward to hanging out with him as well. So next week will be a lot of fun when everybody is in studio. All right,
Boston will win the NBA title
tonight. They're going to do it. Sweep them.
Yep. I'm confident on it. I am.
All right. Well, when we get to that pick, I better expect you to stick with the Celtics. All right.
Okay.
We'll dive right into it. You know, it starts this afternoon here. Actually, it starts here in about 15 minutes, Jay?
15 minutes. 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
My man.
Yeah. God, you're good at time. No, the College World Series gets underway.
Oh, okay. All right.
You hadn't been here today, so we got to catch you up to the world of sports. It gets kicked off with your Tar Heels facing the Virginia Cavaliers. You get to pick the first game. Who you going with, Jay Henley?
Let's go with that baby blue.
All right, that means they're going to lose because last time you picked the other team and UNC won.
Yep.
D. Hayes, you can't deviate. Don't deviate. Don't do it.
North Carolina.
Good. I'm going to go with the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a pretty good pick right there.
We're so far deep into this thing now. All right, next up, David Hayes is first on the docket. The Florida State Seminoles take on the number one in the nation, Tennessee Volunteers. I believe that's a 6 p.m. start here in the Central Time Zone. First pitch right after that. D. Hayes, FSU or Tennessee? Again, these are double eliminations. There's 2 brackets, so even if the team loses, they are not out, but the road definitely gets a little bit trickier.
I think the first 4 to 5 innings of this game are going to be extremely low scoring, and then they just explode in the 6th inning. 13-12, Florida State moves on.
I like it. Ho! All right, Jay Henley, who you got?
I got to go with the Volunteers. I think they're number one, and they're going to stay number one.
Yeah. Who does number 2 work for? Next game is going to be tomorrow. You know what movie that's from?
Who?
What I just said. Who does number 2 work for? Austin Powers.
I was actually going to guess that.
I don't know which Austin Powers. It's one of them. But yeah, who does number 2 work for? Oh, anyway, that was a good one too. Man, they just don't make movies like they used to. All right, the 2 games tomorrow. You got Kentucky and NC State to kick us off. I'm going to go with our good friend Bud Christian and the Kentucky Wildcats. Jay, who are you going with?
They took down my dog, so and I still.
You predicted them to win the World Series, yeah.
Yeah. Got to go with them Wolfpack.
They ain't gonna win it without winning the first game. That's for sure.
That's right.
I'm gonna go with the Wildcats here.
Kentucky Cats and Wolves. Jay said that wolves are about the same size as dogs. So there was a good quote from. This is an aside. There was a good quote. I meant to read this earlier when Jerry West passed away, and he talked about competitiveness in the NBA. He said the word dog comes up a lot. You hear people say, "I'm a dog. I'm a dog," and Jerry West said, "Well, I was a wolf. I used to eat dogs." So there you go, kids. Don't say you're a dog. You're a dog. Tell them you're a wolf, because wolves eat dogs. Right. All right, the last opening round game will be at 6 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon. That's Texas A&M at the Florida Gators. David, you are at the top of the pick. Jay, you are at the top of the pick again.
Well, I know D. Hayes is going with them Aggies because he always does, so I got to go with them big lizards of the Gainesville, Florida Gators.
Oh, the lizards.
Man, that was something for Aaron Beard and Cags. I don't know if y'all talked about it, honestly.
No.
Yeah, Cags has got a deal signed with Tops.
Does he?
Fanatics, yeah. First college baseball player, I believe. But
I'll remember that next week.
I'm going with what Jay said. I'm going to take the Aggies.
I'm going to go with...
they've got a big injury to one of their top players.
They do. I'm going to go with the Florida Gators. I've been talking about them since they got mentioned as a bubble team. Obviously, we've got several big Gator fans here on the show, and I'd just love to see an FSU Florida final. That'd be just some cool stuff. And it could happen because they're both on different brackets. So there you go. There's our picks for the College World Series opening round games, and we'll get started now. Jay, you got to go with it, even though it's David Hayes' first pick. That is the Celtics at the Mavs tonight. Is it a sweep? Can the Mavs extend the game? Does Boston then go home and win in Boston? What do you think, David?
Mind is telling me Boston. Heart's telling me Dallas. I'm not going with my heart. Give me my mind pick. I'll take Boston to sweep it out tonight, and we'll worry about basketball again come next October.
It's going to be gone just like that. Gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday. All right, he's taking the Celtics. I'm going to go with the Mavs. You know, I'm hoping they win. I'd love to see Boston win it in Boston. Do I think they'll win? Probably not, but I need to steal one here eventually and get a little points here and there. All right, Jay, you sticking with what you said?
Yeah, there's going to be, 20,000 Dallas Maverick fans, and the Celtics want to kind of stick that knife a little bit deeper in the Mavericks fans' backs a bit. So they do it in Dallas tonight.
There you go. We talked about that earlier. You know, do you want to win in front of your home crowd? Yeah, absolutely. But do you want to risk not putting this thing away and winning the championship? No, you're going to get it done if you want to, one way or the other. So Celtics, 2 Celtic picks and a Mav. I'm pretty much just picking the Mavs just to see if anything crazy happens. All right, Stanley Cup final game will be tomorrow night. Another opportunity for a sweep as the Florida Panthers went up 3-0 in the series last night. This could be the first time a double sweep has happened in the NBA and the NHL since 1995. First time since 1998 that the Stanley Cup final can be swept. I believe David, you were at the top of the pick in this one. House Money Cats no longer playing with House Money. Do they sweep the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton?
Give me the double sweep. I love storylines, and then that way, in the future, whenever we get close to a sweep in win both finals, I'll be like, yeah, the last time that happened was 2024, and I remember it well.
There
The
you
previous
go.
time was 1990. What was it?
Five, yeah.
Yeah, I was 4 years old. Didn't have a great recollection.
It didn't really. I mean, I might have watched it. I don't know.
I doubt my dad was watching hockey in the 90s. We didn't really start watching. I don't know if he was or not. I remember baseball, football, basketball. Didn't remember hockey until early 2000s.
There you go. There you go. I'm also going to go with the Panthers because I think the Panthers, they taste blood. They're going to get it done. They're ready to win their first ever Stanley Cup. Jay, what do you think?
All right, I got a golf tee in my hand. If the tee points towards me, I go Panthers. If the tee points away, I go
That's
Oilers.
strategic.
We'll see what happens. Oh, we're going Oilers. The tee is facing away from.
All right. Can the Oilers extend it to 1 and the Rats be reigning come, I guess that would probably be Tuesday, the next game coming up in that one.
Tuesday is the next game.
Because it's the 3. They put the 3 in between the travel because of the 2,500 miles.
Golly,
I know.
man.
They stretch it out. It's ridiculous. All right,
Yeah, but the next game's going to be in Edmonton, though.
No, I'm saying the next game after Saturday would be
gotcha,
Tuesday
gotcha,
if Edmonton would win, and then they go throw some Rats after the game on celebrating the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'm working on my ears today.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Somebody's got a feeling for Jay while he's not here. All right, we got one baseball game I get to pick first. I just threw a Rays-Braves game in there. I believe that's 6:20 first pitch coverage here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm going to go with the Braves getting a 2 games, and like the skipper said in Major League 2, you know, once you get 2, once you get 3, that's what we call a win streak. And then she comes right in. So Braves get it done tonight in the opening game of the series against the Rays. Jay, who do you got?
You got to go Braves. I mean, they're not playing great baseball, but it's time to flip the switch. So
There you go.
Braves.
There you go.
Yeah.
D. Hayes, what you got?
I need to know who's pitching in this game, but I'll go with we'll just go with the Braves here.
All right,
We'll go with the Braves.
That's too much information you can know. All right, steady NASCAR pick. Jay's got Elliott. David's got Hamlin. Of course, he's probably the favorite to win. I've got
Zach Little versus Chris Sale, sorry.
There you go, Chris Sale, who's
Yeah, so
actually been
Braves.
pitching pretty good for the Braves. So Joey Logano sucks, and I don't know why I picked him in my beginning of the thing. But your NASCAR, what do you got on the wild card pick? I believe this is to you, Jay.
We're in Iowa.
Yeah, you better go fast. Boogity boogity.
Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. Wow, that's amazing.
It's a great name. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, no kidding. How about let's go Logano? I think Logano is going to pull it out this week.
Nice. So you're just gonna suffer or we'll split it one way or the other. All right. He's got Logano. David, who you got?
I'm going to go Ryan Blaney.
All right. I was gonna go Truex.
Value bet Ross Chastain, y'all.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna go. Is it David Bell?
Christopher
Bell. That's who I'm going to go with. All right, last but not least, currently your leaders are at 5 under par. David, you get to pick first. You get 1 point for the closest to the final score in relation to par for the U.S. Open. Currently, it's
2 golfers?
No, just one.
Okay.
Just the final score of the U.S. Open winner in relation to par.
Oh, just the final score. Jay, go first. So I don't.
Here,
know.
I'll go first in this one. I'm going to say -4.
Okay.
Jay, what do you got?
All right, I'll go -5.
Okay.
All right.
Which is your current lead.
I'll go -8.
Woo! It's going to get easier on the weekend. I don't know about that, but hey, you never know. Some of these guys can defy the odds. That is for sure. Jay, we appreciate you calling in. Looking forward to being in studio on Monday. Get some rest this weekend. I know it's going to be tough, and also happy Father's Day for you as well.
You as well, Ryan. Happy Father's Day to you, and y'all have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks for calling in, Jay. Good. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We appreciate you listening to the Inside Drive. Don't forget, you can vote Best of Bay over the weekend. One more chance to enter the Braves 7-year send-off. It's going to come up tonight at 5:40 right there on the Afternoon Underdogs. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show.
You're listening to the Inside Drive live.
The Afternoon Underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves win it!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon.